Hello, this is Bullet, aka the Passive Aggressive Sherpa. In today's video, we're looking at a couple of quick tips for finding data fragments on Mars. This isn't going to be a video that shows you where they all are. If that's what you're looking for, I'll put a couple of links in the description to some videos for you. Now, I haven't watched these videos because I don't want anything spoiled. I want to find these on my own. To me, that's the fun of it. Not saying I won't ever watch these videos. It's just that I want to try first, and after I fail miserably, then in desperation, I'll go watch them. But here's a couple of tips that I've learned from hunting these down that may help. A couple of them obvious, but I've had people ask me about it, and I have to admit it took me a minute to figure it out too. But the first tip, and it should be obvious, and it just isn't for some of us, and that's that each one of these fragments represents an element. If you try to shoot it with, let's say one of them solar, and you try to shoot it with a void weapon, it's not going to work. It's going to say it's immune. So just switch guns to the matching element, and you should be fine. Second tip, actually probably should have been the first tip, you have to shoot them. When I went through the mission, I found a couple of these fragments, and I ran around them trying to scan them, and there's nothing to scan, and I couldn't understand it. And then I tried to shoot it, and it said it was immune, so I thought, well, maybe I have to complete the missions first, or I thought that's maybe what the problem is. And then I learned the hard way, it has an element, and you need to use that corresponding element to destroy it. Another thing to note, some are in plain sight. I know, because I've walked past them dozens of times, and then I go back and I'm like, it was right there. I spent a good couple of hours yesterday hunting them down, and I didn't find them all. And I saw a video inadvertently showing me one of the fragments. It was in plain sight, and I had walked past it a bunch of times. But some of them are really hard to find. There's a few that you won't find unless you're looking for them. I mean, you have to climb up on things and look behind things. I have a few examples of those in this video, just a couple. I'm not going to say where they are. You could probably figure it out by, watching. And some of them you need to use your golden gun or the Valkyrie, because just using the solar weapon doesn't seem to work. Don't ask me why. I don't know. And one of the clips, there was one in one of the rooms. I don't remember the name of the room. It was behind glass in the ceiling, and you had to make this kind of ridiculous jump into this little tiny groove to get it. There's been a couple like that where they're behind glass and you have to find the way to get in there. There's a couple that you have to trigger something on a wall to open a door in another room. It was just by luck that I figured that one out. Anyways, let's take a look at a couple of the harder ones to find, just as examples. I'm not saying where they are or anything, just to show you what I'm talking about, what it takes to find some of these. Now in this first example, I should have started it a little closer to it. I'm running around and I'm just looking for these fragments, and I come across one in this room with the glass, and I can't figure out how to get to it. Side note, some of these terminals are amazing. You need to scan them. If you're interested in backstory, there's in this lost sector, there's a few of them that give fascinating stories about how the Exos came into existence. Anyways, I had the hardest time with this one. I couldn't figure out how to get it. I must have listened to this story about 10 different times, and then it turns out if you stand close enough to the door, there's an activate button that starts it to open a little bit. I eventually find it, I'll speed it up, but once it'll open and close, so it'll take a couple of times of it opening and closing, but you should be able to shoot it and destroy it. Alright, here I'm doing some exploring. I'm looking for more fragments. And I come across one that is behind the glass, and it takes me a minute to figure out how to get to it. It's kind of sneaky. This is why I don't like looking up videos, and I like to figure it out on myself, by myself. Anyways, this is the type of thing. There's this one behind the glass. Trying to get to it, like I said, took a minute. But the fun is figuring it out. Because once you do it, you're like, oh, that was so easy.
In the solar system, communication and logistics grew increasingly difficult along the outer planets. Pioneers.
This next one, I didn't see from the ground. I was just jumping up on top of stuff, and I found it. And that's how that's the only way you're gonna find some of these, is just climb up on stuff, because you can't see it just running around the normal spaces. Jump up on things. Even things you're not sure you can jump up on. Just, you don't know until you try. Well, I hope these couple of tips help. Happy hunting. And a little bonus info for you for making it this far. The Exo Stranger, remember her? Well, it looks like she's Anna Bray's sister. Remember, if you like this video, maybe hit that like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And if we could get 1,187 likes on this video, that'd be awesome. But most of all, thanks for watching.